Give us some tips, sir. How to be so fit like you.
अरे ऐसा कोई टिप नहीं है भाई.
देख के लगता है like you are so fit.
पोर्शन कंट्रोल है बस. पहले ज़्यादा खाता था मैं.
और मत देना. अच्छा.
पहले ज़्यादा खाता था, अभी थोड़ा कम कर लिया खाना ना. आई ट्राई टू रिस्ट्रिक्ट कैलोरीज, तो कहीं 1900 कैलोरीज के आसपास में खाने का कोशिश करता हूँ मैं.
अच्छा, प्रॉपर मेंटेन करके खाते हो?
हाँ, मतलब कोशिश तो करता हूँ. कभी कभार ज़्यादा भी खा लेता हूँ ना. अच्छा खाना मिल जाता है कुछ तो.
जैसे क्या मिलता है तो अच्छा खा लेते हो? मतलब
यार कल मैं खा रहा था, वो समवन मेड वेरी गुड चिक पीस सैलड.
अच्छा.
तो उसके ऊपर वो हनी मस्टर्ड ड्रेसिंग डाल के, वो आता नहीं है सबवे वाला, तो वो डाल के मैंने ज़्यादा खा लिया था. तो आई मीन यू ऑलवेज हैव चीट डेज. क्या करें, अभी मन करता है तो.
So how is like balancing this thing? चल रहा है आपके policing and personal life balance, because you are a father now.
I mean my wife is now she's posted around 2 hours away. तो I get to meet them on the weekends. So it's fine यार. मतलब क्या होता है कि you get to meet them, you come back, you are able to focus on your work also. Then when you're off, you're totally off. It's not like यहाँ पर वो बैठे हैं and then you have to concentrate on home and office at the same time. ऐसा नहीं है. It's good यार. I mean अभी we've just had a son, तो it's a totally different life-changing experience, I would say. मतलब you realize that your son looks up to you, and you know उसके कोई expectations होंगे. After a few years he'll आपको देखेगा, आपके habits देखेगा. So you want to actually give him something which is ideal. You don't want to actually उसको गलत चीज़ों की तरफ ना भेजे, and of course teach him the right things, teach him right principles. That actually pushes you towards improving yourself. मेरे को लगता है. So that has been life changing, I would say.
You are basically saying what कि you have like turned from a boy from a man. तो ये like I'm not a father और मैंने शादी भी नहीं किया, तो लोग कहते हैं फेस के साथ साथ ये चेंजेस होता है. ये थोड़ा बताओगे कैसे होता है? like when you were not married, then you got married, कुछ चेंजेस आए?
कॉलेज में थे तो जैसे कॉलेज में जैसे रहते हैं सभी लोग वैसे ही था. तो उसके
क्या क्या किया बताओ कॉलेज?
यार वो काफी सारी चीजें की. अभी मैं कैमरा में बोलूंगा तो ना पूरा हंगामा मच जाएगा.
कौन से कॉलेज में थे आप?
अब मैं गवर्नमेंट डेंटल कॉलेज में था बैंगलोर में.
अच्छा.
I studied as a dentist ना. तो college obviously has its charm. You enjoy your college phase and then you come out of college, started preparing. So that time you're all alone. You learn a lot of things about yourself, about obviously preparation के समय में you learn a lot of things about the world also. And then after that you come into the service. So that is a different phase. Like I met my wife there. So
you met your wife in college?
I met my wife in the academy.
अच्छा, okay.
She's my batchmate. So that was a different phase. So I mean over a period of time you grow as a person. मतलब you learn certain things. You feel at the stage of college you feel certain things are very exciting. Then later on when you come into service, after you get married, after you have a child, those things are very insignificant. Then your priorities change. So that's how I think things change. आपका भी फेज आएगा वैसे.
इसलिए तो टिप्स ले रहा हूँ सर, ताकि
अब तो आराम से घूम रहे हैं, वीडियो बना रहे हैं, है ना. तो soon you'll have a wife, you'll have a child. They will be your priority. You won't be able to travel so much.
Married people are jealous with the bachelorette.
I won't say I'm jealous. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I'm very satisfied. I'm happy with the fact that I get to see him. I enjoy this phase. So I mean I've been through your phase also. Traveled, so we used to go I used to go with my friends.
अच्छा.
So we all used to go together. इधर कहीं चले जाते घर के आसपास, मतलब close to our where we stay. So that has its charm.
And what's charm you're getting from police department, like being an IPS officer?
Here I would say the job इसमें चार्म की कोई बात नहीं है. इसमें it's about what best you can do बस, ठीक है. So it's about someone comes to you, you be very impartial उनके लिए, ठीक है. Whatever is as per correct as per law, उनको मदद कर दो. I mean to take something out of it, to think that you are getting something out of it, I don't think that is the right approach. I would say that at the end of the day, but still people look up to us. They feel we are like idols, or they look up to us as IPS officers, or officers who have achieved something. That is the only satisfaction, I would say.
Hey, do you think it's one of the cause because your father was an IPS officer? So you have seen him from being an SP, then whole role, and you said he was also DGP, no? Of that rank. Those you have seen all the twists and turns of the department. Is it somewhere it made you mature than the other officers? You want to connect like that?
I don't know. I'm not comparing myself to anyone compared to other officers.
Now, do you ever personally feel that? I'm not going to comparison.
See, it gives you a perspective of the service. ठीक है? I would say that आप सर्विस के अंदर आते हो, आप देखते हो, you have a lot of expectations. But maybe I also have a lot of expectations, no doubt. Everyone does. But then you also understand the reality. There's a difference between what you can expect and what you really get. So probably I won't say I've learned it completely, but then I have an insight into that.
Okay.
Matlab, what I get to speak to my father, and he guides me. He says that these are how things are. So that gives me an insight. Okay. It helps me understand things better. And it helps me, reorient myself. Sometimes I feel, yaar, ye galat ho raha hai mere saath. It should not be this way. It should not be that way. I get frustrated. Family helps in that way. Father being in the same line, it helps. My wife being in the same line, it helps. You are able to, talk together. You are able to interact, and you are able to come to a common consensus about what is right and how we should go through this phase. I would say that's how it helps.
You're basically talking about personal disbalance. तो मैं ना इसको सर कनेक्ट करूँगा क्योंकि मेरे साथ recently I'm going through something like that. So what happens? You do something good in your life. I'm not saying you are the best. Like I'm the best of everything. But there are some people who will every time point it out, and they will point it out of some jealousy. It's नहीं कि आपको improve करने के लिए help करता है ना? So I think you got that what I'm trying to say.
I understand.
But in personal level, sometimes it disturbs you. Like I was, trying to cope up with that thing. Can you give example like how you are tackling those things? I think in your departments also happens many things. Your personal life also many things goes like that. If you can any example, how do you manage those things?
I would say, it's very tough, because a lot of times we all have expectations from people, family, friends, colleagues, seniors, someone you have done something for. You have expectations. You expect that person will come back to you and he'll help you out with something. But I would say the only way out of this is you do something, you don't have expectations from people. Okay. And at the same time, ठीक है वो कर लिया, be very unemotional about it.
Okay.
Someone, you do something for someone, okay, fine. He appreciates you, he thanks you. Don't expect anything beyond. Okay, if he does something good for you, or if he appreciates it back and he helps you out with something else, well and good. That's how it is, I would say. That's how you should cope up with it. Because if you start having expectations, you will be hurt. I would say that.
How you became this like so chilled out personality being in such a department?
Chilled out नहीं है?
No, it's not easy. It looks like chilled out, but this is something you learned with time, I think.
You make mistakes, you learn. You feel, especially with people, you make a lot of mistakes, you learn a lot of things. तुम्हें लगता है कि this is how things should be. You try to control everything, it doesn't work. You let it go. You go with the flow. I would say that's how it works. Everybody has their phases. Maybe I'm lecturing you and talking about all these things because today I would say I'm somewhat I'm in a better phase. Got a good job, decent, whatever. Maybe if I was not in this position or in this place, I won't have been able to say all this. So everybody has their phases in life. In a good phase, everybody will say good things. In a bad phase, everybody will say bad things. So they'll be frustrated with what they are.
Can you share some bad phases? I don't want to get into only departmental, any things that you went through. क्योंकि बहुत लोगों को ये लगता है ना सर कि you come from a bureaucratic family, so they think everything was sorted from you from the childhood.
I was the only son, so क्या होता है, a lot of expectation is there from the family. Family expects you to do well, expects you to study. They expect you to get the best marks, get into best college. Public also expects you IPS officer का बेटा है, ये इसको करेगा. I did dentistry and in my final year I failed.
Oh.
I failed in practicals.
Okay.
There are certain circumstances because of which I failed. So that was a very low phase. I was like, the people around me were like, यार ये तो ऐसे कैसे हो गया? They can just sympathize with you, but they can't do much. So that is a very low phase. At that time, my family supported me a lot. First attempt, second attempt. So the civil service process itself is like a toughening process. It's like वो टफन ग्लास नहीं आता हमारा 12 इंच का, उसको बनाने में काफ़ी वो इट टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट ना. वॉट एवर द प्रोसेस इज वैसा है हमारा. तो यू गो थ्रू द हार्डशिप्स, देन ओनली यू कम आउट स्ट्रॉन्गर, आई वुड से. एंड देन अगेन I would say, like, I got married, and the phase in which we were yet to decide which cadre to go to, Himachal, Kerala, that was a tough phase. Because you marry because you met, you like each other, you have a lot of understanding, but certain circumstances are such that you're not able to be with her, or she's not able to be with you. So all this finally sets your priorities. यार तुम्हारा priority क्या है? ठीक है, you do districts, you are in the field, you are an IPS officer. At the end of the day, what do you want out of everything? At the end of the day, मैंने क्या किया, it is only left to me ना, मेरा story है वो. आपको तो I won't say आपको, it doesn't make any difference. वो डेल कार्नेगी का एक बुक है, How to have very good communication with people, ऐसा कुछ बुक है वो. उसमें वो बोलता है, यू टॉक अबाउट समवन एल्स. लाइक अगर आपके साथ मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, तो अगर आपके बारे में मैं बात करूँगा, तो देन ओनली यू विल बी इंटरेस्टेड. सो इट इज़ योर स्टोरी, यू विल बी इंटरेस्टेड ओनली इन योर स्टोरी. सो एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, वॉट एवर इट इज़ फॉर मी, इट इज़ माई सेटिस्फैक्शन. सो आई वुड से दैट गो टूवर्ड्स वॉट एवर अट्रैक्ट्स यू फॉर योर सेल्फ.
The world, somewhere in the world, everybody also wants to listen their story. What will be your tips, like for a budding bureaucrat or any other person to be a part of it?
Yaar, it's very difficult for me to answer for someone else. Yeah.
How you do it?
मेरे लिए तो यार, I just मेरा work is one part of my life. At the same time, you come back home, you have a different part of your life also. Na? So I would say you should focus on both things. You focus too much on work, maybe sometimes ऐसा होता है कि you may become very over enthusiastic, which is not needed at certain circumstances.
Yeah. So true.
तो मेरे को लगता है कि first, to change anything or do anything, you need to give time to understand the process.
Okay.
So you need to give yourself time to understand yourself, and obviously अभी ऐसा जो job है, a young officer आता है, तो I think you should spend time understanding the system first.
Okay.
क्या है इसमें, मतलब issues क्या है. You have a lot of ideas. हम आते हैं, we bring a lot of ideas. बट देन सिस्टम क्या है करके हमें पहले समझना होगा, तो वो आइडियाज़ कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं, देन प्रोबेबली वी कैन ब्रिंग अ चेंज.
कभी सर अपने आप को इस हिसाब से देखा है, जैसे यू आर टेलिंग यू वाज बोर्न इन महाराष्ट्र, देन यू हैव जर्नी ऑफ सम अब्रॉड कंट्रीज, देन यू हैव अ जर्नी ऑफ स्टेइंग इन बैंगलोर, देन दिस लाइफ. जैसे मैं आज ही बात कर रहा था विद माई फ्रेंड गगन एंड जितू दैट कि व्हेन आई मूव टू कॉलेज इन पंजाब, मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा मैच्योरिटी वहाँ मिला, क्योंकि बिफोर दैट आई वाज इन कैलकाटा. तो मैं एक सर्कल में था, मैं अपने आप को कभी ब्रेक नहीं किया. सो व्हेन आई गॉट दैट ब्रेक फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम ना, जो मुझे जैसा खाना चाहिए था वो नहीं मिल रहा था, मेरा जो लाइफस्टाइल था वो अलग हो गया. सो आई से लाइक अ लॉट ऑफ मैच्योरिटी आई गेन फ्रॉम दैट स्टेज. कभी अपने आप को उस हिसाब से देखा है?
देखो, इसमें एडवांटेजेस भी है, डिसएडवांटेजेस भी है. अभी you are at a particular place, you grow up there, you end up making a lot of friends who become very close to you, you can rely on them, you keep moving places, which like I have done. I've never had that static group of friends. अभी before the social media era and all that, तब क्या होता था, we never used to communicate with each other much ना, तो लैंडलाइन फ़ोन होता था, तो तब तो मतलब ज़्यादा बातचीत भी नहीं होता था. तो you cannot really have a set of friends who you can really trust upon. You have to go to a new place, you make new friends. That is one disadvantage. But the advantage is you have to adapt to every circumstance. अब यहाँ हो या बाहर हो या कहीं भी हो, आपके होम स्टेट में हो, you learn how to adapt. That I would say is the advantage of it.
I think that's the thing also helps in your current life? Because here also you all need to adapt every time. Every 2-3 years you might be in some other districts or some other places. That's what actually helping you in somewhat.
Helping तो क्या यार अभी you are used to the process, I would say. तो transfers होते हैं, that is how the job is. So you understand that, that's how you have to take it in your stride, good or bad, है ना? And you should welcome the change, I would say. अगर नए जगह जाओगे, नए लोग मिलेंगे. अब आज आप आ गए, कल कोई और आएगा. I mean, I would get to interact with him, learn a lot of things from him. उसका क्या है, वो कैसे मतलब अपना how he is doing things in his own way and how he is being successful. And you go to a new place, you meet a lot of people, like एक agriculturist को मिल लिए. अपने हिसाब से he is also successful. So what are the things he does? आप कहीं और किसी और को मिल लिए तो he would say that he is also successful, तो वो भी बोलेगा अपना story, तो you get to learn a lot of things, I would say.
I think this is the oldest Bilaspur, na? Where we came.
This is the old Bilaspur. यहाँ जो बाकरा नंगल डैम है, so when that was constructed, तो this area got flooded, and the people had to shift वहाँ जो अभी नया बिलासपुर बना है, so they all shifted to the upper parts. So now this is the basin, river basin of Satluj. तो यहाँ पूरा अभी समर सितंबर में आएंगे, अगस्त सितंबर में पूरा यहाँ this is all full of water.
Which I saw just before coming this, you went to cricket. So what is it like to get the stress out of you?
I mean it's a good way to channelize your energy also. So you spend your whole day working in office, you meet all sorts of people who have their problems, they come to you with their issues. Then you are the whole day you are thinking, your mind is working, so you go to the field, so your mind stops working, your body is working, and you start sweating. So it's a good feeling यार, मतलब अच्छा लगता है, so that's why I just go there in the evening. It's like meditation ना, people say do meditation and all. मेरे से meditation एक जगह पे बैठ के होता नहीं है, तो I am little restless उस हिसाब से ना, so that's why I go play cricket or some sport.
So this is like your escape route, we can say.
Escape तो क्या? I mean, escape is something. I mean, you can phrase it in a different way. Maybe de-stress. Escape is something probably a person escapes from his responsibility. That maybe it's not something like that. It's maybe something to de-stress or just to probably improve your health also.
As we are discussing that, ma'am is also an IPS officer. How is the personal life like being two IPS officers staying together? What is the reality if we talk about?
See, professionally, I would say we both have our own set of goals. At the same time, being in the same job, it's easier for us to support each other and understand each other's issues and problems. So kabhi kabhar kya hota hai, if I am stuck with some issue, I need a solution, I ask her, and similarly she asks me. So that way it's very good here. I find it I mean the issues of postings, and because at SP rank in a district there can be only one post, and unless there is a battalion or something nearby. So previously we both were posted together like that. So I mean we obviously cannot expect to be posted together throughout our careers, but it's good. मतलब उस हिसाब से it's really good. I find.
Does this thing bother that though both you were in the same state, but फिर भी एक long distance होता है?
No, I won't say it doesn't. This is the first time, in fact, we have been away from each other.
अच्छा. First long distance.
First since I came to Himachal. So we have been posted together. So I would say the government has been very considerate. Senior officers have been considerate. So it's not too much of a hassle. I would say in other professions also this issue is there. Many of my colleagues are married to lawyers, doctors. So many of the lawyers, they are not able to get the appropriate level of वो practice नहीं होता है यहाँ पर, maybe in the sessions court or something. So many of them are practicing in High Court, Supreme Court. So nowadays both the husband and wife are working in most of the marriages.
Is it so glorified, like we see YouTube videos that power couple, ये वो असलियत ही है?
No, it's not like that. In fact, we are very vulnerable also. Because the other person is also tagged along with you, na? If there is something tagged with you, then the other person is also considered that the person is also similar. So we are very vulnerable in that way, na? And many a times they feel that okay, she's got a good posting or he has got a good posting, while the other person can be accommodated nearby. But both of us have our own independent careers, na? So I would say there are pros and cons for both.
Tell me something about your batchmates and how was the life in NPA, because I know few of your batchmates, we already shot with them.
Okay.
So tell some stories.
I would say I have a very good bonding with most of my batchmates. I still talk to them. I call them, and even in the cadre, my batchmates are there. So we gel and we talk. We meet up sometimes whenever we are going to. Somewhere like Delhi or some central place like Bangalore when I go back home. So I do tend to catch up with them. And of course on the phone we speak occasionally as well. So I mean during training also we had a set of friends. In fact, we used to sometimes go out in the weekends and enjoy and come back. So
is it like college life? How is the NPA life or like the personal life if you talk?
NPA, I would say LBSNA is slightly more fun. Okay. Because it's the initial period when you join service. तो क्या होता है कि you are just into service, you're so excited, you're full of energy. You for the first time after college, you've studied for like 3 years, 4 years. So for the first time after college, you are with a group of people like 150, 200 people. So you meet up, you want to meet new people, you want to enjoy and celebrate your success. Similarly in NPA, you want to do that, but then our training is so rigorous, the outdoor activities are rigorous. So we end up resting most of the time. You have to take sufficient rest because we have to get up at 4:30 in the morning. So that way it's good. I would say it's similar to college life.
How this IPS officer turned into a musician? When this thing happened?
I used to play music here during college and all. So it's a great way to enjoy yourself. You go back home.
People say all musicians get more attention in the colleges.
I don't know how true that was.
Especially the female attention.
I don't know that. I'm not really sure about that. So, but no, I used to give the attention to my instrument. So that way music keeps me occupied in the evenings when I go back home. So I put my attention, I stop thinking about work. So there's a good divide between work and personal life, professional and personal life.
But do you feel challenge or like do you feel it easy for you? Because a creative person is never stagnant. You can't put a creative person in a mechanical order. He will try to make something or the other. If you say you need to go right, he will go left. What I feel, that's the beauty of creative people. Is it somewhere you try to balance in between a musician and a policeman?
No, I keep both away. I mean, I do occasionally. Some days back, I had a small. There was a small function, so I sang and all. But no, otherwise, professional and personal life and professional and hobbies are totally different, because you require a different set of skills. I feel profession requires a different set of skills. It requires good communication. It requires interpersonal relationship. But you might not require that level of expertise in your professional life with regard to interpersonal relationships. Sometimes you need to use tact. You need to sometimes talk to someone in a very polite way. Someone else you need to talk in a different way. So it's about the communication. Professional life is about that. Personal life or your hobbies are more about expertise, how proficient you are with the instrument, how well you are able to practice, how many hours you are able to practice. That is not the case with your profession.
Do you judge a person according to his, I don't know, I think you can relate, a layman people sometimes might disagree. Like for a sound engineer, we sometimes judge a person the way he talks, because we believe frequency more.
So how will you judge me?
I would judge, like, as of now, I don't know you from last 20 years, but as of now, what I have seen that you know what to do, what not to do, because you might have a background of policing behind. And secondly, you are always trying, as I said from the signature, you are always trying, I shouldn't say like this, people will gyan de raha IPS officer ko, aisa nahi hai sir, but one thing I am learning from you, few officers, that आउटसाइड से सर बहुत कुछ लगता है कि अरे इनका तो जिंदगी शॉर्ट है, आईपीएस है ये, बट इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. इतने पजल्स के अंदर भी यू आर टिल चिल आउट, यू आर ट्राई टू मेक योरसेल्फ दैट पर्सन.
आई वुड से पहले मैं ऐसा नहीं था. आई यूज्ड टू गेट इमोशनल और एंग्री वेरी फास्ट, और I used to probably get upset also about certain things, because you see a certain way of life, and then when you leave home, you come out, you don't see, things are not ideal. तो कभी कभार गुस्सा आता है, फ्रस्ट्रेशन होता है. So then, but then it's a part of life, चलता रहता है अभी. So there's no point. मेरे को लगा after a point यार, अभी certain things are under your control, certain things are not under your control. अब क्या करें, जो हमारे कंट्रोल में है उसको कर लो. हार्ड वर्क हमारे हाथ में है. I mean, all those things you can do, but then you cannot control other person's thoughts about you, है ना. तुम जो भी तुम्हारे अच्छे नियत से करते रहोगे, बट दूसरा आदमी तुम्हारे बारे में गलत सोचना चाहता है, तो हम क्या ही कर सकते हैं, है ना.
बट वो दर्द देता है कि यार मैं तो अच्छा कर रहा हूँ, क्यों सोच रहा है.
इट डज अफेक्ट ना. आई मीन, इट डिपेंड्स. आई मीन, अगर वो आदमी हमारे से बहुत क्लोज है, तो तब तो लगेगा ही यार क्या कर रहा है. अगर इफ इट्स समवन एल्स हु इज अ थर्ड पर्सन हु वी हैव नोन फॉर अबाउट 5 days 10 days, 1 महीना 2 महीना, इट हार्डली मैटर्स, आई फील, बिकॉज वी एंड अप मीटिंग सो मेनी पीपल ना. तो आई मीन, आफ्टर पॉइंट तुम्हें वो इम्यूनिटी बढ़ जाता है. ठीक है, वो उसका दिमाग वैसा है, तो हम क्या करें, उसका वायरिंग वैसा है.
It said when you play the major and minor chords simultaneously, the tune gets melodious.
To say this to a musician, I would not agree with it, because you really cannot actually play the minor and major chord together and get proper good melody. You will have to do certain other things also. As rhythm, and there is other things. So, anyways, I mean, I heard. I mean, I understand your where you're heading to.
Is there anything that you are missing, if I ask you today?
Missing? I'm missing probably thoda. I'm far away from my parents. My parents are in Bangalore.
Okay.
So maybe, I mean, once in a while they come, not very occasionally, because obviously they have their personal space.
Exactly.
So that thoda matlab distance from home is always there. Na? I'm in Himachal and my home state is Karnataka. Maybe that is always there. But theek hai, it's fine.
Okay. So I won't take much of your time. Last question, sir. How was the feeling shooting with us?
No, you brought me to this place for the first time. In fact, I've been passing through. I've never had the time to come here. So it was a wonderful experience. It's eye-opening. I will definitely come here once again. And otherwise, there's been a positive vibe about you and your team. So that's great.
What positive vibe?
I mean, you guys are cheerful and you're open to new thoughts, new ideas. You want to explore, you want to travel, you want to go to new places, meet new people. So there are positive things about that. So it's good.
Thank you.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.